Welcome back to this explainer. So your bees are ordered and the perfect location is chosen. Congratulations! But before those live bees actually arrive, there's some absolutely critical work to be done. In this continuation of Blackwater Honey's Is Beekeeping for You series, we're focusing entirely on preparing a safe, highly functional two-colony beginner apiary. We are going to transform that arrival day anxiety into unshakable readiness. Let's dive right in. Think of this as our ultimate benchmark. The goal you're aiming for is exactly two perfectly prepared, empty Langstroth hives sitting securely on a rock-solid stable stand. You'll want clear working zones all around them, a water source already established, and your tools neatly staged. Basically, this is the finished, polished product you need out in the yard before a single bee ever crosses your property line. Okay, just to keep us on track and avoid any overwhelm, here's our quick roadmap. First, we'll confirm arrival specs. Then we'll tackle site and stand preparation, followed by equipment, feeders, and water. Finally, we'll wrap up with staging your gear, running a practice drill, and locking in that final 72-hour countdown. Right off the bat, let's get one crucial mindset shift out of the way, because this frames literally everything we do from here on out. Arrival day must be a seamless, calm transfer of bees. It is absolutely not a frantic, noisy construction project. You really don't want to be out there drilling, hammering, or slapping on wet paint while thousands of live, stressed-out bees are confined in a box nearby. The physical apiary work has to be 100% finished beforehand. So, Section 1, confirm arrival specifications, knowing what's coming. You know, a 5-frame nucleus colony, or a nuke, which is basically your mini starter colony, is totally useless if those frames don't actually fit into your receiving hive. So confirm the Langstroth frame depth and box dimensions with your seller immediately. Never just assume everything is standard, because it often isn't. While you're at it, verify your exact pickup window, check if the queen is marked, ask about their nuke box return policy, and, this is a big one, make sure you know their weather delay plan, in case conditions are too poor for a transfer. Moving right along to Section 2, prepare site and stand, building the foundation. A truly solid stand is built on some pretty strict criteria. Load capacity is paramount here. It has to safely support 2 colonies at their massive, peak seasonal honey weight. That is heavy. It also needs firm, compacted footing so it doesn't sink or rot after a heavy rainstorm. And, vitally, it must give you safe working space from behind or beside the hives. Trust me, you never want to be standing directly in the flight path right in front of the entrances. Please do not wait until the bees are literally buzzing in the backseat of your car to find out one of your wooden boxes is warped. Go ahead and level each hive side to side right now so the frames will hang perfectly straight. Then dry stack all your equipment. And here is a massive pro tip for you. Do this dry stacking while wearing your veil and those bulky, purpose-made beekeeping gloves. Doing so will instantly reveal any awkward latches or spots where the fabric pinches. Oh, and get all your painting and weatherproofing done early, so those strong chemical fumes can completely cure long before the bees move in. All right, Section 3, equipment, feeders, and water, sustaining the colony. Having a safe water source ready to go is completely non-negotiable. Set it up early with textured edges, some stones, or maybe floating corks, so the bees have a safe little landing pad to drink from without drowning. Getting them habituated to your water right out of the gate prevents them from deciding that your neighbor's expensive, pristine swimming pool is their new favorite hangout spot. When it comes to feeding, your choices are going to depend heavily on your local forage conditions, the weather, and whatever your mentor advises. But listen, whichever feeder setup you choose, assemble it and leak test it using plain water first. Never, and I mean never, leak test with sugar syrup. Even a tiny syrup leak in your apiary can trigger a massive, deadly robbing frenzy from other hungry insects in the area. If you do need to feed, mix that syrup right before the bees arrive and clean up any accidental spills immediately. Down to Section 4, gear and the dry run, preparing the beekeeper. At this stage, you only want your absolute essentials out at the hives. We're talking a clean veil, closed-toe footwear, your gloves, a hive tool, and a smoker you've actually practiced lighting. Keep your record book and your seller's contact info handy too, but leave any unnecessary expansion boxes packed away somewhere dry. Giving a brand new small colony way too much empty space right away just creates unnecessary stress for them. If you want to drastically lower your cognitive load on arrival day, and you do, perform a full physical dry run without any bees. Literally, put on your complete protective gear, walk the exact carrying route from your car to the stand, holding an empty box of similar weight. Practice opening the receiving hive, simulate the whole transfer sequence, replace the covers, and pretend to log your records. If you find yourself improvising or rushing during this rehearsal, stop, figure it out, and simplify your setup. A calm practice sequence is vastly superior to a hurried, panicked one. And finally, Section 5, Final 72-Hour Countdown, the home stretch. You'll want to anchor your preparation to this strict sequence. 1 to 2 weeks out, that's when you finish all physical construction, your stand, leveling, painting, and any environmental risk prep. 3 days before, verify the seller instructions and start checking that weather forecast. The day before is just for dry stacking and staging those clean tools we talked about. By the time pickup morning finally rolls around, literally all you should be doing is checking the weather one last time, clearing out space in your vehicle, and grabbing your tie-down straps and your veil. I really want you to take this core philosophy to heart. Ready means boring. The absolute ideal arrival day feels completely wonderfully uneventful. It means the stand doesn't wobble, the frames slide in perfectly, the water is already sitting there, the feeder holds tight without leaking, and your tools are exactly where you reach for them. Trust me on this. Boring is beautiful in beekeeping. Let's do a rapid-fire run-through of our final checklist. Site is secure from high wind and animals? Check. Hives are weather-tight and totally compatible with your incoming nuke frames? Check. Gear fits perfectly and you've practiced your smoker safety? Check. Basically, everything on this list needs a solid green checkmark before you even turn the ignition key to go pick up those bees. So your apiary is officially ready. The prep work is flawlessly complete and you're good to go. But what exactly do you do once that vibrating, buzzing box of thousands of live bees is actually sitting on your stand? One wrong, unpracticed move here can spell disaster. How do you move them smoothly and safely into their new home? Well, that brings us to our very next step, which we'll cover in our next explainer, how to install a nucleus colony.